And tonight we have something different. This morning we had acquisition news. Tonight we have product news. But before we get to our product announcements, I wanted to start by talking about why we're here in Times Square. For a while now, Yahoo has been looking for a home here in New York. We have several hundred employees spread across several smaller offices. And I'm proud to say that we've found it. We have recently taken a lease out on 229 West 43rd Street, so right here in Times Square. The home of the New York Times for almost a century, and of course the namesake of Times Square, which is one of the reasons why we thought it was fitting for tonight's event to be there. But we're going to gather all of our 500 employees in New York into one consolidated office. We have expansion room for an additional 200, and we couldn't be more delighted to have our home here in New York. And because this is a wonderful New York moment, I'm very excited to introduce Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Thank you for joining us.
There we go. From one mayor to another, let me say congratulations. We worked very hard on that line. I'm glad somebody understood it. This really is very exciting news, and not just for Tumblr and for Yahoo, but also for New York City, because it helps show, I think, what a big player New York City has become in the tech industry, something we've worked at for a long time. Bob Steele and Seth Pinsky, as you know, have been out there beating the bushes, trying to get schools to come here and companies to come here. And I think this just verifies all of their work and shows that we really are making progress. And we're very proud, of course, that Tumblr is a homegrown company, and we've always been very happy to support them. They've grown. We've helped them, I hope, in their efforts. I hope them open their current office, and we couldn't be more excited for them today. So congratulations, guys. Yes? At the same time, you should know that Tumblr has helped us our administration communicate with the public. We were the first city government to begin using Tumblr. And the first time I heard about Tumblr was when we started using it, which just may reflect more on my age than anything else. When I said that to my daughters, they were just shocked that I hadn't used Tumblr all the time. But seriously, Tumblr also helped us develop the city's small business digital toolkit. And as you know, David has spoken with city employees to help our team stay on top of all the changes that are going on in social media, and how New York City government can better help the citizens of the city, how we can communicate back and forth and provide the services that the public needs and has a right to expect. So not only are David and Tumblr made in New York, they've helped us build a better New York. The Made in New York campaign, as you know, is Catherine Oliver's genius stroke, and it reflects, it gives recognition to those people who, whether they're making movies or making the more modern social media, they've done it here, and we want to honor them, and we also want to help them in branding and in developing their products, and that's why we are honoring David and Tumblr. We honored them a few weeks ago with one of our Made in New York Media Awards. But this is really pretty exciting. To many people around the world, the bright lights of Times Square represent the promise of New York City, that if you come here and you work hard and you have a bit of luck, you can make it big. As Ed Koch said, this is where the world comes to audition. And I think David is a great validation of that story. He's turned his innovative ideas into indispensable services used by millions of people every day. And now a pioneering technology company run by one of the industry's most respected CEOs is acquiring his company and committing to help the business grow. And I think it's fair to say that Yahoo's move here into the old New York Times building is a real sign of the times, if you'll pardon it, so to speak. It is, I think, the latest example of how new media is growing in our city and how it is revolutionizing the industry. You go from a building that was serving one kind of media for generations and did a spectacular job doing that, and here now the next generation has taken the same space and they will do exactly the same thing. 20 years ago, if you look out the window, there were plenty of Yahoos in Times Square, but now the Yahoos here will make an honest living. And they'll help us. Yeah, that was even funny in the first line. You guys didn't laugh? but now the Yahoo will make an honest living. You got that one? And that will help seriously to make us grow our economy stronger. And Tumblr success really is terrific. But I will say it is not unique in New York City. Right now there are thousands of techies working around the clock, developing products based on bold ideas. And if a $1.1 billion acquisition doesn't convince you that New York tech industry is a global player, let me just give you a few more numbers. Over the past decade, the number of venture capital deals in New York City has grown by 160%, faster than any place else in the country. Last year, there were about 100 New York City-based tech companies acquired for a total of something like $8.3 billion. And in 2011, more than 120,000 New Yorkers were employed in tech. And this is really just the beginning, with Cornell moving here and with Columbia expanding and NYU having a consortium with Carnegie Mellon and some overseas universities. The educational complex that generates the people that tech companies want to hire is getting into full gear, and that will help us, it will help companies when they come here find the thing that they really come here for, and that's intellectual capital. If intellectual capital is important to your business, this is where you want to be. If you want to sell your products around the world, this is the city you want to be in, because you've got to see those people from around the world and understand their cultures and have a test marketing ability right here outside where your doorstep when you're developing the product. So I'm 100% convinced that today's announcement will mean even more jobs, and this is very exciting. A new lease helps to cement Yahoo's long-standing commitment to our city, and it creates one of the largest tech presences in the city, and it's a great validation of this tech's community's future here. So David and Marissa, congratulations, and for all the team at Yahoo and Tumblr. Speaking for 8.4 million people, I know who all are going to call me in the next day or so and say, please tell them we appreciate your confidence in our city, and we'll do everything we can, seriously, to make this the right decision for all of you. God bless, and thank you.